Okay, get in here. I don't know how you sleep with all these lights. What are you scared of? I don't see anything. Okay, monster check complete. It's been around forever. Hidden. In the dark.
You believe me?
Yo, what's up, family faces, and welcome back to another review. I just got done watching The Boogeyman, and here is my honest and spoiler-free review. So in this story, we follow a dad and two daughters still reeling from the tragic death of their mother. A teenage girl and a younger sister find themselves plagued by a sadistic presence known as the Boogeyman. Okay, where do I even begin with this movie? So walking in the theater, I did have some expectations, I guess, for this movie. I thought the trailers looked pretty cool and got me hyped to see this movie. And now that I've seen this movie, it has flaws. I'm going to go into details later, not any spoilers, but details what the flaws are. But what I like about this movie? I think it had great balance with lighting in this movie and shots. The cinematography in this movie is very good. It was well shot, and yeah, like I said, the lighting especially with the glowing moon that you see in the trailers are pretty cool. For me, I did have a fun time watching this in theaters, but it did feel generic, and you've probably seen this a lot in other movies like Lights Out. Some of the things in this movie are very similar to Lights Out and how they tackle lighting and you can't stay in the dark or something like that. Even though it did feel generic, I still had a lot of fun in the theater. I do think it was a pretty decent Pg-13 horror movie. It doesn't have blood, doesn't have much violence. It almost doesn't have kills, but still, I stand with this movie. I think it was fun watching it in theaters. Something I also wanted to mention is the jump scares. The jump scare in this movie, for me, I actually got jump scared and had that adrenaline kick and kind of had a little laughter, after it jump scared. And the same with my theory. Most of the people actually did get jump scared and had a little laugh after they got jump scared. And for my part, the jump scare were actually well put together. And yes, some of them felt cheap, but most of them are actually pretty good jump scares. Now moving on to suspense. Suspense in this movie was pretty good. You're sitting at the edge of the seat throughout the movie. But it did have a very predictable story and ending. You can definitely see where the story is heading if you pay enough attention, and that was kind of a bummer about this movie. It doesn't have a pretty great story. Yes, the theme of this movie is like loss and grief, because they lost their mother and going through a lot, but it doesn't have really like a story to it. It's kind of just like the monster just comes for your kids, like that's it. And now with the creature design, I think it was pretty fine. It felt more like a monster film, like it's supposed to be a monster film, but if you're going to put the Boogeyman title to it, I would expect maybe like probably like a human-like figure hides in the shadows, and maybe have a little hat, and also maybe a little top hat, maybe. But now moving on to bad parts or the flaws about this movie. Like I said, the story wasn't really there, and it had a very predictable ending. I was like meh about there wasn't like a lot of breaks in this movie. It was like action. There's no like pause to eat, breathe, or drink in general. So it felt not rushed, but like kind of rushed, if you know what I mean. Yeah, didn't have a lot of breaks for me, at least. It just, I couldn't drink, I feel like, before I got jump scared, you know? So for this movie, I'm giving cinematography 3 points. I did like the lighting balance and how this movie was shot. Some of there are a lot of cool shots in this movie, and how the camera pans out and everything. Now for acting, I'm going to give it 2 points. Most of the acting was fine. I didn't recognize a lot of people, but some actors I did recognize. But most of the acting, like the two daughters and the dad, was pretty great. Now on to the storytelling. I'm going to give it 1 point. It felt very generic, and you've seen it a lot. And the story was, like I said, the story wasn't really there, and there was just that the monsters are coming to your kids and going to kill them. Like, that's it. That's very generic, honestly. But okay, did I like it? Does it deserve 1 bonus point? Let me think about it. Yes, I do think it does deserve 1 more point. I find myself actually enjoying it, and it had a it is a decent Pg-13 horror movie. So if I just add it up, that will be 6 points. With 1 bonus points, so that's 7 points. So with that, I'll be ranking this movie 7 out of 10. Or a 3.5 out of 5 stars if you're ranking Rotten Tomatoes or Letterboxd or any other platform with stars. It did feel very generic, but it's still decent, so I do recommend you watch this in theaters. It deserves a theater watch. It was originally going to go straight to streaming, but it doesn't deserve just going straight to streaming. It definitely deserves at least a theatrical release first, then streaming, of course. But yeah, that's just my review on this movie. What do you think about it? What do you like and what do you dislike about it? And with that, don't forget to like and subscribe, and that will mean a lot to me. It's free and it takes 1 second. But yeah, I'll see you guys in another video. Peace out.